Donald Trump's civil fraud trial has entered day 3 in New York. The judge is overseeing Trump's trial that has issued a limited gag order on the former president as well. Trump is once again surrounded by his never-ending legal woes. This time, the former U.S. president's business empire is also under Let's. Trump is currently facing a lawsuit by Attorney General, and Trump, along with his 2 adult sons, are accused of fraudulently inflating the value of their assets. The trial, termed as greatest witch hunt of all time, now has a new development, and that is Donald Trump is now clamped down by Judge Arthur Engoron, who has issued a gag order against Trump after his comments on court clerk in the civil trial. Engoron has restricted all parties from posting or speaking politically on any of his staff members. In a combative attempt, Donald Trump took to his social media during lunch and attacked Engoron's clerk in a social media post. Trump linked a picture of her with Democratic Senate leader Chuck Schumer. This is not the first time when former president's social media posts have raised concerns, from Capitol attack to threatening attacks on Twitter. His social media posts have taken center stage in Trump's political career as well. But as far as the entire fraud trial is concerned, let's try and get in some legal perspective, and for that, also political. Let me introduce my guest today. I'm joined in by Mr. Joseph Tully, who is a criminal defense attorney. Many thanks to you, Joseph, for joining in. Now, Trump is identified as a businessman, and for someone of the stature to not be able to do business in New York City is a big blow. How do you think Trump will tackle this ongoing case and reclaim his identity?
Well, I think that is the main point here. A lot of people are pointing out that Trump's identity is in New York real estate, and having a particular brand, which are completely linked to those items. And this civil case has the potential to hurt him more than the 4 criminal cases against him, because it goes to the heart of who he is and what he does. And a lot of times for a man, who you define yourself is what you do for a living, your job, your work that you produce. So this could be a very detrimental trial for Donald Trump.
Joseph, does it have any bearing inside the courtroom if Donald Trump is turning this trial into political theater?
Well, I think Donald Trump is being Donald Trump. I don't think that. I think that the decision is he's facing an uphill battle with that judge in that courtroom. I don't expect things to go well for him. I don't know what it would take for him to have a fair trial. I'm suspicious that will not happen, that the judge will not be fair, that the judge has his mind made up. But I think that his antics certainly don't help him. You never attack court staff. And what he did yesterday at lunch and posting on Truth Social, he posted a picture of the court's law clerk. You don't do that. The judge is very protective of the court staff. And he also said, that the staff member, there was a picture of the staff member with Chuck Schumer. Now, a statement like, hey, this is the law clerk for the judge, I don't think I'm going to get a fair trial. Look at her close association with a high-ranking Democrat official, and maybe blurring out her face. That would have been probably, marginal. That would have been pushing it, but he could have gotten away with it. But in posting her photo and in posting that statement along with it, the judge rightfully responded with a gag order saying, "Don't do it again. And if you do, I warned you before. It went unheeded. If you do it again, there's going to be serious consequences." So, in my opinion, the judge handled that properly.
Right. And in the background of the Biden family facing legal troubles as well, Donald Trump has been dragged to court with his sons. Now, in your view, is this a case about inflated asset values or partisan politics, as is being claimed by the grand old party?
Well, I think it's probably a little bit of both. Sometimes you have 2 opposing sides, but the truth is somewhere in the middle. Traditionally, the American law system, which we inherited from Britain and made some fine-tuned adjustments, it was about going to court. Both sides get their day in court. You argue your side, and the truth comes out in the end. Eventually, the truth wins. I think we've been moving less and less away from that. for a lot of different reasons for, decades now. I think that you can make an argument either way. You can make an argument that, look, there's something here. What their numbers say on
Right.
paper were not accurate. But you can also make the other thing that it's political.
Joseph, 2024 is a big year for Donald Trump. Apart from elections, Trump is going to be faced with back-to-back hearings in these cases against him. Can the former U.S. president be convicted in any of these cases? If you were to sort of rate these cases that he's in fact, he's been accused of, all these trials that are taking place, how do you weigh in on the gravity of this New York fraud trial?
So the New York fraud trial is civil, so it's only over money.
Right.
So it's not he will never go behind bars. So I think that I think that this is least important in terms of his liberty, whether or not he'll go behind bars.
Also, some of the cases against Trump are not of recent time. Many are wondering, how was Trump even elected with these cases that were against him?
So he can be elected. He can run. There's nothing in the Constitution which prevents somebody who has criminal charges or is facing criminal charges to run for president.
All right. And then what could defeat in this New York fraud trial mean for Donald Trump? How high are the stakes, even if it is a civil suit?
Well, so it's $250 million as a penalty. It is really hamstringing him and divesting him from being able to do business in New York, which is one of his principal places of business. And as I mentioned before, is really wrapped up in his personal identity and in his brand. And his brand is how he makes money. So I think that is a key component that if you want to stop Donald Trump, you would hurt him where it counts, his ability to do business and make money.